Happy holidays, friends. Thank you for joining me today, and I'm glad you did because I've got something pretty great for you, and that is a Christmas Eve video. We've been doing content for the holidays, for Christmas week, all week, and this is the night, nor the daylight, streaming through the room the night before Christmas, and want to do something a little special for you. I'm going to read the classic poem, Twas the Night Before Christmas. But that would be boring just by itself, because of course it would be. Why would you want to listen to me just read Twas the Night Before Christmas? I know I wouldn't. I don't like listening to me do anything, which is unfortunate because I edit all of my own videos. So that's problematic for me, I guess. No, I want to do something different. And I was racking my brain. I was like, what can I do to make this fun or interesting or anything other than just reading a poem? And then I remembered something. So you remember last summer, I did a video where I read a bunch of things using a speech jammer, which was very interesting.
Be trained to not growl at the guests. Will the litter box work or will they leave a mess? Can we make them a cowberry herding the cows? Or maybe a mulberry pulling the plow?
If you don't know what a speech jammer is wearing my headphones right now. And basically what happens is you press a button and it repeats your voice back to you slightly delayed. And the human brain can't figure out hearing your own voice on delay. They can figure out hearing your own voice when you're talking in real time, but just that little delay really messes you up, and it messed me up a lot too when I was doing it back then. So I said, you know what, let's bring that back. I always said I wanted to do it again back in that video, so why not right now? So I'm gonna activate the speech jammer, and we're gonna go. Fuck. This is gonna be bad. We're gonna read We're gonna read the poem "Twas the Night Before Christmas." It makes you sound drunk. Oh boy. Take a sip of my eggnog. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. See, that part was relatively easy because everybody knows it. Stop talking. But you could still hear my issues there. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care. Jesus. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash. Flash, not flash. Flash. Don't say flash. It is a long poem, folks. Oh my god. Tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. My voice does something weird when I'm reading. Like, I take a tone. I sound like this, and that's not on purpose. I promise. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Don't want to do that. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vexen. On Comet, on Cupid, on Donner Blanson. Blinson, is it? Alright. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. Oh my god, there's a whole nother page. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my hand and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed in all fur. It's 2021, dude, you can't do that. From his head to his foot. And his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked just like a peddler. It's not good. Just opening his pack. Get away from me, peddler. I don't want your pack. I'm calling Chris Hansen. Merry Christmas. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses. His nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth. Okay, because I can kind of... sucks. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this off for just a second. No, I'm gonna keep it on the whole time. So... I should, let me crank the volume more, but I can kind of hear my own voice, and it sounds kind of okay. But then when I play it back, it sounds like a nightmare. I don't know. I'm like overcompensating. Oh yeah, I cranked the volume up, and that's a lot harder. Woo. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. I think that's not a lore that we don't discuss a lot when it comes to Santa, is that Santa is also an elf, I think. And nobody talks about it. He enslaved his own people for profit. If that's not late stage capitalism in action, I don't know what is. Ho ho ho. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. And I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. Why would you turn with a jerk? That's silly. And laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle. Why am I speaking so slow? And away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all. and to all a good night. Holy cow. That was a lot. That was Twas the Night Before Christmas. Still on. But I wanted to read one other thing just for fun. And that is the last couple paragraphs of A Christmas Carol by The Christmas Carol. Is it or the? A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I'm going to read the last little bit of the book. And this is after he's been visited by all the ghosts, and he's changed his life and his outlook. And he's going around visiting his family and Bob Cratchit. So I'm going to read that last little bit. In the afternoon, he turned his steps towards his nephew's house. He passed the door a dozen times before he had the courage to go up and knock, but he made a dash and did it. Is your master home, my dear? Trying to do voices and it doesn't work, said Scrooge to the girl. Nice girl, very. Yes, sir. Where is he, my love? I think trying to do a voice makes it worse. Perfect, said Scrooge. He's in the dining room, sir, along with Mistress. I'll show you upstairs, if you please. Thank ye, he knows me, said Scrooge, with his hand already on the dining room lock. I'll go in here, my dear. He turned it gently and sidled his face in round the door. They were looking at the table, which was spread out in great array. For these young housekeepers are always nervous on such points, and I'd like to see that everything's right. Fred, said Scrooge. Dear heart alive, how his niece by marriage started. Scrooge had forgotten for the moment about her sitting in the corner with the footstool, or he wouldn't have done it on any account. Why, bless my soul, cried Fred. Who's that? It is your Uncle Scrooge. I have come to dinner. Will you let me in, Fred? Let him in. It is a mercy he didn't shake his arm out. He was at home in 5 minutes. Nothing could be heartier. His niece looked just the same. So did Topper when he came. So did the plumper when So did the plump sister when she came. So did everyone when they came. Why, everybody's coming. It's a good Christmas. I'm gonna come. Ah! Wonderful party, wonderful games, wonderful unanimous. I feel like I'd have trouble with that word anyway. Unanimity, wonderful happiness. But he was early at the office the next morning. Oh, he was early there! If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming in late. That was the thing he set his heart upon. And he did it. Yes, he did. The clock struck 9. No Bob. A quarter past. No Bob. He was a full 18 minutes and a half behind his time. Scrooge sat with his door wide open so that he might see him come into the tank. His hat was off before he opened the door, his comforter too. He was on his stool in a jiffy, driving away with his pen as if he were trying to overtake 9 o'clock. Hello, growled Scrooge in his accustomed voice as near he could feign it. What do you mean by coming in here this time of day? I'm very sorry, sir, said Bob. I am behind my time. You are? Repeated Scrooge. Yes, I think you are. Step this way, sir, if you please. Hearing that back must suck for you, because it sucks for me. It's only once a year, sir, pleaded Bob, appearing from the tank. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir. Now I'll tell you what, my friend, said Scrooge. I am not going to stand this sort of thing any longer, and therefore, he continued, leaping from his stool and giving Bob such a dig in the waistcoat that he staggered back into the tank again. And therefore, I'm about to raise your salary. A new recipe. Bob trembled and got a little nearer to the ruler. He had a momentary idea of knocking Scrooge down with it, holding him and calling the people in the court for help and a straight waistcoat. A Merry Christmas, Bob, said Scrooge, with an earnestness that could not be mistaken, as he clapped him on the back. A merrier Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, than I have given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family, and we will discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop, Bob. Make up the fires and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit. Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend and a master and as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh and little heeded them. For he was wise enough to know that nothing ever happened on this globe for good, at which some people did not have their fill of laughter and the others that. I thought speaking faster might help, but I don't know if it does. And knowing that such of these would be blind anyway, he thought it quite as well that they should wrinkle up their eyes and grins as have a malady in less attractive forms. His own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him. He had no further intercourse with spirits, but lived upon the total abstinence principle ever afterward. Did Charles Dickens really write he lived upon the total abstinence principle in his classic novel? And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that truly be said of us and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone. Whew. That was a lot. That was enough for me. Man, this sucks. Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this here, still on, this here video today, this evening, whenever you're watching this. Yeah, again, happy holidays. We've got one more video left for you tomorrow. Christmas themed video, I should say. Anyway, thank you again. Do the good YouTube things. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. And hit that bell notification. YouTube will tell you when new videos come out. I guess you can sort it based on how frequently you want updates now. So that's cool. Do that. And, as always, I would like to remind you, have a great life and a happy holidays. Thank you very much.